I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements.
I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting in the air in them, taking the air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect when I show up.
I can't hold on to football. It's so goddamn hard about holding on to it.
Introducing Mike Cash Collins and Scott Stagg Simpson as the Fantasy Millionaires.
Good evening, Fantasy Football Universe. To all of those of you who are tuning back in because the draft day approaches, we say welcome back. To anyone new checking us out, like who the hell are these two dudes? We say welcome. And to all the fantasy millionaires who've been rocking with us through the whole off season, we love you. To my esteemed partner, co-creator, and inventor of wide receiver 2 theory, welcome, Stacks. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just got to say, I want fantasy football to be a safe haven for everybody. And so, listen, if you're a friend out there with a micro penis, I just want you to say, the Fantasy Football Millionaires, we're your guys. Like, we love you. It doesn't matter the angle of your dangle, and how proportional to the heat of your meat it is. For us, we accept everybody here. So I just want to put that out there. All you micro dong bros, you're welcome here. It's okay. It's okay. We're not slinging, 6-footers here either. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay.
You're in good company.
Yeah, you're a good guy. It's okay. You look up to us, of course. You know what I'm saying? We're not like you, but you're welcome. We're not going to look down on you. So, we just want to give everybody a shout out. You're all welcome here. We love everybody. We want to be a positive force that is very, bringing people together, that's not tearing apart. So please, Fantasy Millionaires' mission this year is to bring folks together. We love you all. Everybody who's a fan of us, of you or me, we're a fan of you. We appreciate you very much. So everybody out there, all the love. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We are like days away from football starting. You can just feel it in the air. Training camp is winding down. We're getting back into like people not being at camp, but being in their home stadiums or in their home cities where they're kind of going back to where they live and stuff. So I'm excited, man. How are you feeling about camp and all the just the revelry that the NFL is bringing about right now?
Well, I'm glad we welcome everyone into this show. Everyone, micro penises included. Drunk fans are welcome here. We are going to be doing another segment tonight of a new segment called Fan Fights, brought to you by Underdog, because we got another good one. Yeah, I mean, it is so exciting to be getting ready to do the draft at my house this Saturday. I'm ready to throw down in here. Should we do it inside or outside? What do you think about that? Outside,
yeah. I mean, I want to.
Because we're gonna be inside.
Yeah, I'm gonna be bit by 1,000 mosquitoes like last year. You
want to be bit
through my jeans, even.
Outside is cool. So I figure I'm gonna set it up and let people vote. You know, to see what they want to do.
I mean,
but the weather should be good enough where outside would be like it's not going to be hot.
No, it'll be beautiful outside. I mean, the only thing is you do have mosquitoes. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't appreciate getting bit by mosquitoes last year through my clothes, no less, like through my freaking clothes. But besides that, 50 mosquito bites, it's worth it. Drafting over at your house, like, not getting COVID, not dying, I'll take it,
Yeah. I want to, I gotta get that whole thing. I'm really hoping this is the year where the Fantasy Millionaire is less fantasy-ish, because I really want to get that outdoor patio with the outdoor TV set up. That is going to be whenever that happens, but maybe this is the year. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is where I hit it big. DraftKings. It's coming. Either way, I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be getting involved very soon in a matter of weeks. So exciting time.
It's going to be exciting times. I can see that I'm glitching. Can you still hear me though, at least?
Yeah, you're good. FYI, the Fantasy Millionaires, Stax's internet is
Well, it's being
has
addressed. It's being addressed that the internet company is aware.
his internet has a micro penis.
Yeah, they do. It's Verizon Fios, and they're finally out fixing a problem that's been around for a month or so. So I'm glitchy. Hopefully, you can still hear me. You can still hear me, Mike?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're good.
That's all that matters. You don't want to see me. I'm not that good looking anyway. So Bo, here's the thing. We did want you in the league. We thought there was going to be a spot for you opening up, and then somebody who we thought was never going to be in the league again rallied. He turned a course. He changed direction. He apologized for just bad behavior last year. So we're giving him another chance this year, but he could be on the fritz next year. So please don't
stay. You're on the sidelines, though, Bo. We might need to call you on Saturday.
We might need you, buddy.
Yeah, you're on deck, bro. We might just be reaching out to you like, hey, we need a fill in.
Yeah, no, but
we'll see.
Well, here's the thing. So because of this, I'm not sure if this happened yesterday when I was trying to share the video of the fights and stuff. So I shared the fight videos with you. If you want to take over and share your screen, you will have more power over the screen share than I will. My screens are kind of, buffering and slow with my shitty internet. So if you wanted to pull up our first fan fight of the night, I'll let you pull that up. I'll do a little preview. Here's the thing. We talked about last week. There's people are lit up at these games. They are drinking. They are talking shit. The fight we have today is a fight that happened in Pittsburgh, and it was definitely somebody who another lady was involved talking smack kind of for her man, which it's not a good idea, ladies, to talk smack for your man. I'm just giving you guys a heads up in general, unless your man's like, Voltron or something, because normally if you're talking smack for your man, it's not a good sign. It's normally his job to kind of talk the smack because he can walk it or not. And so, as soon as Mike tells me he's ready, hopefully we've got this video.
Dude, sorry. This is you're good now. You can share. My thing is it's making me set up Google Chrome. It's like
you don't want to do that. Well, I will try to share. I'm still frozen on my end, and you're still frozen too, which means my computer itself is just dealing with this internet issue slowly and poorly. So you're frozen to me, which is fine. You still look good. You're still looking good, but that does kind of mess up the segment if I'm not able to share my screen. I'm going to keep trying to do that, and we'll see if it gets through eventually. It's not responding when I click on it. So it's a little frustrating. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Hold on. Wait. Is it? It's not. Yeah, it's not working.
No worries. Did you see the Pittsburgh fight where the lady decided that she was going to smack like a huge 6'5" black guy? That was one of the most craziest things I've ever seen before.
Right. Yeah, that's the fight.
Yeah. Wild.
No.
I might be able to share my screen now. So hold on. I'm in the throes of trying to share my screen.
Okay.
So,
yeah, this definitely doesn't. Okay, good. Here we go.
Okay. Yeah. Wild stuff here.
This definitely doesn't help with the segment if we can't share our screen.
No, we need to be able to share the segment. Yeah. That's like a key cornerstone. And
our new sponsored segment, fan fights, sponsored by Underdog.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sponsoring it. We're talking about them during that. I don't want to be liberal. Here's the problem.
They're not sponsoring it. They're just we're just rooting for the underdog, I guess, in every fight. So Underdog's involved.
Well, for some reason, there we go. My mouse wasn't working either. My computer needs just to go to hell. I'm not going to lie.
This is a great show. This is really going good.
That's terrible. It's terrible. All right, so here we have the fight going up. So let me in case there's actually no, we can do cursing. We're okay to do cursing tonight. We're free to curse as much as we want. So here's the fight.
Oh yeah, start over. Start from the beginning.
Okay. Let's see if I can start from the beginning.
Shut up! Shut up! She told you to shut up. No! Shut up and get the fuck out! Touch me!
Oh, he took off his glasses.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the moment.
That was the moment. Oh. That wasn't good.
And he does hit this Woman,
Yeah.
but then her man stands up. He looks like he's about 50, and he just gets slapped. I mean,
He gets beat down big
yeah,
time. Yeah. I did hear the police are looking into charges. There's going to be a fan fight of the week every single week in all of these stadiums. It is wild. And shocker, I'm guessing alcohol is involved here. I hear people yelling, she's drunk. She's smacking another man's face. The last time I was at a football game and I saw a fan fight almost, somebody was touching someone else's face. They were putting their hands on someone's hat, trying to touch their hat. This guy was like, I'm going to wreck your boy if he doesn't stop touching me. So people who are drunk, they'd like to touch other people and aggressively. So this woman obviously probably intoxicated, and her man got beat down. Not good.
Yeah. Poor old man got beat down. He this is the thing, man. When your lady gets, has you biting off something that you can't chew. I wonder for the brother who hits her, if he is it's self-defense, because once somebody hits you in your face, you're allowed to, I mean, what's the legal, I mean,
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, honestly,
I don't know either.
She
I mean,
didn't
obviously not hitting a woman, not good, but
punch him in the face though. She did not do that.
she slapped him.
She slapped him in the face. So she gave him a little wickety whack, a little boom, 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 like how she attacked your father. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's not what you want to see, and the NFL has got to fix this because it can't happen every single week. It will. We're going to feature it here on the Fan Fight of the Week preseason.
It's nothing the NFL can do. This is phones. This is the current state of affairs. Like, humanity has not evolved past caveman-like behavior when you go watch a football game. And now everyone has a phone. And everyone was locked in their house for a year, and now they're back. And so there's nothing anyone can do. Like, this is what's going to go down. Fights at football games because everyone has a phone.
Fights at football. I mean, fans behaving badly isn't anything new. But you got to think people are going to be a little bit more tore up and a little more crunked because they've been stuck inside for so long. And I'm sure during that time they've been bettering themselves with self-help, books and reading meditation things. They're really in a good place, and they're ready to bring their humility to society to share at football games. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. So tune in every week as we bring you the latest fan fight caught by a phone that the NFL does not want you to see.
Yes.
We'll show anything else? So what else besides our fan fight of the week stuck out for preseason for you?
Well, you know what? I was going to say also, as I didn't get to share this, Antonio Brown punched a man, I believe, at practice the other day, and I had that picture, but I can't pull it up right now. My screen's kind of fidgety, but yeah, just you saw the whole, like, the punch just right on the jaw, just jaw chipped him.
He looked like he really socked him, like it was a perfect punch. And then you saw that other one with Sterling Shepard.
Oh yeah, they're squaring off, like 2 men enter, 1 man leave.
And there's no video on that one except at the end. But he looks the cornerback. Who's the cornerback? I can't think of his name. Troy Brown or who was it?
No, I don't know who. I know who you're talking about, but I don't have it up.
I can't think of his name, but he looked like someone who did not know how to throw a punch. You remember when you were a kid and you would punch like this? That's what it looked. Yeah, like you hit people with the side of your fists when you're a little kid. That's what he looked like he was doing.
It's Troy Hill, and no, he cannot fight. And why would you try to fight a man? You put your helmet on. Like, I don't understand. You have helmets. They're like, I want to see your face when I'm punching you. It's just
Antonio Brown got the guy's helmet off too. He ripped it off and was like, yeah, like this is a predator. Like he knew the moves. Helmet off, fist to jaw.
Yeah. No, and my computer's working a little bit now, so I have the Antonio picture up if it'll cooperate with me here. Yeah. It was a jaw jacking. Look at this. Look at his face. He's punched right in the face. Oh man,
That doesn't look good. And then isn't there one of him like,
hey, bro, hey, oh, right in the face.
isn't there one of him like smiling as he's walking off the field too? Like,
Yeah, he jaw jacked somebody.
yeah,
you
he
know?
jaw jacked somebody and then he waved like he was like the king of England. Like, yep.
Hey, and I like how he's ripped his shoulder pads up. You can see his shoulder pads underneath. This guy was in a tussle with Antonio Brown, and he lost. So, you know,
He looks like, dude, he looks like he's got a big fist too. Look at that. Look at how much of his face he's taking up with that fist.
great hands to catch the ball. I'm sure he's got some big old man fists.
That does not look like fun.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. So, well, yeah, so fights are happening everywhere. Training camp fights are happening in the stands, on the field, on the practice field. Yeah, it's the fan fight of the week. We're going to
Football's back.
Football's back, man. If there's fighting, it's football. You know, like it's very synonymous. It's a very high T game. I think it's so funny. All the hate for high T stuff. You're watching men obliterate each other. It's the high T-est thing I can think of. And people are just like, no, it's too high T for me. You know, I'm going to make fun of high T stuff.
It's the most T. I mean, I think that anyone is being honest. Anyone is being honest is tuning in to jack up their own T.
Yes. I wake up every Sunday with low T, and by like 4:30, my T levels are just rising. You know what I mean? Like Denny's hair.
100%. If you had a little T reader on you, you know, like a pulse oxidometer, you would be getting, you know, by 4:30 as you're getting into the afternoon games, like your T is getting it's getting a little bit, you know, to the point where you might lose some hair, you know, if you're someone like me, like your T's getting a little out of control.
Yeah. Not only is your T out of control, but like, you know, like sometimes like your beard hairs will change color on you, like mid hair, you know, like start off like whatever natural color, black, brown or black or red, and then it'll just turn halfway through to white as all that T infused, you know.
I think honestly, T makes it white.
I think maybe the loss of T, you know, when you lose, you know, a big game, you know, I run around my basement screaming during these games, excited, and my girls are there. I'm just like, come on, Antonio Brown, yeah, you know. Yeah. So I think maybe just some of the T gets used up as I emote and I scream, and some of my hairs just turn. They die. They're like, yes, I gave it out for that T scream, you know. And
yeah, you get toxic T.
Yeah, I got too much T, man.
Toxic T in the beard, man. It's a problem.
It's a problem, and you know, I'm working on it, but you know, I can't do anything about it right now. I'm in the game, you know. So
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Also, I was not drinking. I'm not gonna lie, I was not drinking, and you knew that. But my wife got me a present today for my first day of work back at the classroom with no windows, back to the hellscape we call my, you know, cubed world, and appreciate this. Really nice of Rose to get this for me. Cheers. This is from Weihenstephaner. They're the best beer in the world. 99% or 99 rating on Beer Advocate. If you're a beer guy, this is a good one to have. It's a nice sipping beer. You know, it could calm you. You don't need to drink 20 of them. Be responsible, folks. You know, and never drink and drive. Ever.
Yeah, it definitely helps lower your T a little bit too. So that's
I'm doing this just for the show because our T's are so high right now. Just even seeing each other, my T's are off the, you know, T chart. So I'm trying to bring it down with a little bit of some, you know. So
all right. Well, we'll finally talk some real football now. So anything of note preseason that you think is worth highlighting before we get into rounds 10 and 11 on the show tonight?
I will say I saw that Darrell Henderson today left practice with a
sprained
thumb, a hurt thumb there. That's something I want to touch on news-wise. We don't know what's going to happen. McVay said he has his thumb. That's what he said. So that's good. You know what I mean? Like if you want a thumb, you still want to have a thumb. So I like that. And But besides that, we're not sure what's going on there. And then you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's got an injured ankle, an inside ankle sprain. I hear from the medical experts it's a little bit harder to recover from that from the outside. It's kind of just the way the muscles are working. But I don't know. I'm not an expert, but that kind of bothers me a little bit. And then Trey Sermon, Stephon Diggs knee. There's just a lot of little injuries. I think Terry McLaurin hasn't practiced a lot, so there's a little things that are going on here and there. What are you hearing? Anything standing out to you injury wise or either performance? We had Zach Wilson throwing the ball all over the place. Rookies galore.
Yeah, that's who I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm a mind reader.
Yes, that is that. The two things that are sticking out right now so far are Myles Gaskin is playing with the second team. What's going on? And Zach Wilson looks like the truth. I mean, I'm
adjusting the ranks.
Yeah, I slept. Listen, let me tell you exactly why I slept on that dude. Because he looks like he's a 17-year-old prom date, and the Jets drafted him, so he sucks. He can't be good, right?
Right. Well, it's a different Jets organization there, So, I mean,
He's
Coach
good.
Robbie Robb is going to get that Jets organization in shape. He came over from San Francisco, and that's my nickname for him, though. By the way, Robbie Robb. Don't let anybody else give you any other nickname for, I think, Robert Saleh than Robbie Robb. He's coming to New York. He's got to get a new name. He's got to get a nickname. They need a nickname. You know what I mean? If you're in the borough, you're talking about Robbie Robb.
How do you even say his name? Saleh? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Saleh?
I don't know. Saleh. I'm not sure. I need to be educated, but I'll call him Robbie Robb because he needs to have like a catchy New York nickname. They all do. They all need to have some glitz and glamour to their spiz and spazzle. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think sometimes organizations get it right. Broken clock is twice right a day. I think they made a good decision. Maybe. I mean, he looks like that's the thing. I just think all the quarterbacks in that draft class that went in the first round, they're all legit, dude. They are all legit. We'll see who ends up having the greatest career. But yeah, man, adjust the ranks on Zach Wilson, dude. I mean, straight up.
Corey Davis too. I mean, I've been pumping Elijah Moore just for that rookie upside when he was in the 11th, 12th round. I loved it. Now he's in the 7th, 8th round, which is a little wild. But Corey Davis looked like the truth there too. So I think what's going to happen with Wilson, he's going to fixate game to game. He's going to fixate on a receiver. And so it might be Corey Davis. It might be Jamison Crowder. It might be Elijah Moore. I think right now it's Corey Davis. So Corey Davis, he's valuable. He's valuable. So make sure you snag him up.
Well, he will be featured on the show tonight as we dive into rounds 10 and 11 here on the Fantasy Millionaires. So this is what we do. We give you the ADP off of Fantasy Pros, and then we give you our yay or nay, our thumbs up, thumbs down, or just if we're neutral, we think, hey, this is where they go, and I might draft the person here. So that we're trying to run through, get people ready for their drafts. So we're gonna start tonight. We've gone through rounds 1 through 9. So we're starting tonight with Sir Tyler Higbee.
Good.
Where are you at with Ty Guy?
So you know what? I drafted him in Scott Fish, and so maybe I'm just telling on myself here, and I did a bad thing, and I didn't make a good choice. Jacob Harris, who is a 6'5" converted wide receiver to tight end, intrigues me this year, and I think he is going to chip away at Tyler Higbee's kind of value. And Tyler Higbee already kind of has gone down a little bit in ADP, and so I'm more skeptical of Tyler Higbee being my tight end 1. I think I want somebody a little bit different there. I'll take him as my tight end 2, or do a back-to-back, maybe getting him and Gesicki. Those are kind of guys that are both in the same range. Having both of them on my team and playing tight end pick 'em each week, I think I could do that. I'm okay with it, but I'm not going to be targeting Tyler how I was earlier in July, where I thought there was more upside for him in that offense. I think it'll be a little bit tempered, just getting the ball around. They have Deshaun Jackson, Tutu Atwell. There's just going to be a lot of dissemination, as they say. Look that word up; it's a good one.
So, I'm thumbs down on Ty Guy.
No tie.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean he had a serviceable year as your tight end 1 last year. Hopefully the rest of your team was way better. But wasn't it a 3 touchdown game that he had that one game, or was it a 2 touchdown? That game where you won 5 Gs?
The 5G game, he had 3 touchdowns that game.
3 touchdowns. So he had 5 touchdowns last year. One of them, 3 of them were in one game. So
right.
It's not really that good of a season.
No, it's not. And I mean, McVay, they let Everett go, which is fine. I know McVay is always looking to, put people in position to be successful. So if Tyler Higbee gets 110 targets, yeah, he's going to return value. I think he gets more like 90, maybe 85, which he can still be valuable, but he's just, the upside there is going to be capped. It's not going to be, tight end 8. It's more like tight end 13.
He had 60 last year, 60 targets. So
yeah. So
not good.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of somebody who I do love a lot is Michael Gallup as the second pick in the 10th round. What do you think about Michael Gallup being just so, to me, criminally undervalued? And it's not new. I'm not the only person saying this. Lots of smart football minds are onto him. He is in wide receiver 2 theory. Speak of the devil that we brushed up on earlier. What do you think about the Gallup this year? You into him?
I'm into him. Thumbs up for cash on Michael Gallup. Giddy up. I was really high on him last year, and he was going way too high because CeeDee Lamb totally factored into that offense, and he's better than him. But he still puts together a decent season with whoever that guy from The Sopranos was that was his quarterback for a while.
Ben DiNucci.
DiNucci.
You gotta get DiNucci. If you don't roll DiNucci the right way, DiNucci doesn't taste good.
You gotta add DiNucci. You gotta put it right here.
You gotta on real thick. Hey, by the way, I'm Italian. And so I can do that accent. I'm not doing stealing anybody's appropriations. And this is my friend Michael Kenneth Collins. He's Irish, but I let him do it. He's my friend. So
hey, it's DiNucci. Hey, come on.
Hey, we gotta put your hands out like this. Get a DiNucci.
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, he had 59 receptions, 843 yards as the wide receiver 3 without Dak. So
right.
I'm excited. I think the value is here, and he's gonna be a very nice person to have on your bench that you can plug in games where you can maybe potentially read the defense and just know, hey, this is a Michael Gallup game. I'm gonna go ahead and flex with Gallup.
Yes, I agree. A great flex all year. And I'll say this: one of the segments that we do on the Fantasy Millionaires every week, and we're going to be starting it when the season starts, week 2 or week 1, as we get ready for, I guess, week 1, before we get into week 1 even. It is elevate, mitigate, eviscerate. And what we're doing in those segments is we're looking at who your players on your bench that you need to get in your starting lineup, like a Michael Gallup, who are players that are normally in your starting lineup that you need to kind of, downgrade them. There's going to be a tough matchup, a.k.a. DK Metcalf up against Jalen Ramsey. He struggles. He doesn't get the DiNucci. So that segment is perfect for a Michael Gallup. So I'm sure he'll come up in that segment this year. So do stay tuned. That's something that we do every single Monday. And listen, it's tied into DFS winners. We did it last year. We're going to do the whole thing this year tied into DFS. We'll talk about who you need to move up into redraft. And at the same time, we'll hit it with the DFS angle, brought to you by Run the Sims. Perfect segue there. That was a Pete Overzet-like segue, if I do say so myself. Run the Sims. Run the Sims is for everybody who wants to win money. Betting, DFS, fantasy football. It's the real deal, relevant Holyfield. I love it. I'm over there. Hashtag Run the Sims /nimble. And you get in there, free account, sign up. And then if you want to do paid stuff, they got paid stuff. You want to do free stuff, they got projections, they got DFS content, they've got content for best ball. It's the best. I love running the Sims. Tell them Nimble sent you. Justin Freeman's the man. Pat Mayo's the man. And shout out Pat Mayo too. I was on Lauren Carpenter, stepmom Lauren on Sunday night over there. They're just the best at the Mayo Media Network, MMN. Check them out. And then also another plug right there. Go to Prize Picks and then put in, code name Nimble as well there. You got another little joint. Love Prize Picks. Apparently my prize pick of Marquez Callaway is going through the roof. I hear he's doing well tonight. I called that yesterday on the show. Do stay tuned. That's going to be regularly me over there on the media network with the Mayos. So I love it. All right. So let's jump in. Yeah.
FYI, on that note, I haven't watched any of the game. I just looked at the stats before the show started. Yeah. Jameis has 2 touchdowns. I think they might both beat him, Marquez Callaway. I don't know.
Oh, hey, guess what? Your boy yesterday said to stack them in DraftKings. So I hope you listen to me. That was on the show. You get that kind of content. You're going to get it, and I'm hoping that if you did get it, you get some money in your pocket. That's why I'm doing it. It's not for me. It's for the Danucci,
Yeah,
So,
Jameis balled out tonight. So it's a big game.
I called it. I called it.
Okay.
Yeah, pats on the back. Here's the thing. It's not even about me. I didn't win any money. It's about I want other people to win money. Like that's what it's really. When you're a tout and you do stuff for other people, you want them to say, "Hey, man, I won cash because of you." Makes you feel good. Makes you feel good inside. Like I'm not gonna be a bazillionaire. Like I'm not Bezos. Like, but if my friends can come up, there you go. That's how I do it. So I love it. All right, let's talk about Mike Williams here, wide receiver 230.
Mike Gesicki. We're skipping.
We're skipping Gesicki. I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, I thought I lumped him in there. Mike Gesicki. What do you see in Mike Gesicki? I kind of faded him earlier, and now I'm rethinking that with the preseason performances. How about you?
I'm seeing someone off his player profile pick with high T. Looks like he's losing his hair a little bit. Pour some out for his hairline, which I understand, bro. I understand what he's going through. He's got the money. He should be able to throw some sod on the fairway sooner or later. Besides that, man, I was kind of moving towards thumbs up. I'm neutral. I was looking at a trend that they're saying the NFL is really moving away from 12 personnel and tight ends are really third. The percentage of plays that are involving tight ends are really just shaping up to be third down plays where they're actually running routes. He does look like he has good chemistry with Tua. So
he does.
I'm neutral. I'm neutral. I'm not thumb down. I'll probably draft him around here.
Would you take him over Higbee though?
Yes, I would.
Yes. Okay, above Higbee. Okay, I like that. Yeah, no, me too. And I'm not going to say I just doubted him as a wide receiver, as a tight end 1. He's being drafted at the 12th position. So for me, I was just kind of doubting, can he sustain it? I think what will happen is you'll have games where he does well and he does hit you with where you need to be. And then you have games where he disappears, like last year. He only scored over 10 points, I think, 7 times. So the consistency, when he gets touchdowns, when he gets targeted downfield in games, then he'll be there. When they take him away, it'll be a different story. So I like him, though. I'm going to say I'm a little bit above neutral. So, all right, now Mike Williams. Mike Williams, the most touchdowns he's ever had, I think, is 10, and the most receptions I think he's ever had is like 66. What's the infatuation with Mike Williams to everybody? Is just his size? Does he go up for passes like a maniac, and they love him falling down and getting hurt? What are you doing with Mike Williams this year?
Dude, I mean, 10 touchdowns. That's
one
what
time.
You want.
One time? Just one time?
Yeah, one time in really 3 seasons. So
because he hasn't been healthy. This is his 5th year. He's going into his this is his last year deal, right?
He's going into his 5th year, but he didn't play in his rookie year. So,
of course, right? Because he was probably hurt.
I don't even know. What the. Here's what I'll say about him is that I'm thumbs up. I'm thumbs up on Mike Williams. Justin Herbert is ridiculous. There's just so much value. There's so much upside with the pick. And the the problem with Mike Williams is he plays on the same team as Keenan Allen, who's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. So he's a strong wide receiver too, and I think he will have a strong wide receiver 2 year this year. And if anything happens to Keenan Allen, he's gonna be starting automatically. So
Okay. I like it. I like you're stating your case well. I'll say this. If anything happens to Mike Williams, Jalen Guyton, Josh Palmer have value because Mike Williams gets hurt frequently. One of my favorite, I don't know if it was Luke Sawhack. I'll have to look and see who did. Somebody did a great tweet where somebody fell over like on a ship railing. They fell over the banister or the escalator, and they're like, Mike Williams every time he goes up for a catch, And it's true. Like every time that dude goes up for a catch, he extends both his hands. He just lands on his back. Just violence, man. That guy's a strong, big man. So if he can stay healthy, he could be a top 25 wide receiver, honestly. But I don't know, 17 games, huge. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm saying with the upside there.
It is. You're drafting for upside at that position, so I would definitely take him there over the next person who's 114. That's Michael Pittman Jr. I like Michael Pittman better. I was on the Yahoo Sports Fantasy podcast with my guy Matt Harmon a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago or so, and we were talking Michael Pittman as a value, and that was before the Carson Wentz injury. Being drafted in this later, 9th, 10th round area. What do you think about Pittman now with the injury? What did you think about him before? Were you on him before? Did you change? How did that work out?
He's not someone that I've really paid a ton of attention to. He's got the body of an NFL wide receiver. He's got the body of an NFL wide receiver 1. I can understand why you're picking people in these later rounds and you're looking at somebody like him. I'm my honest opinion of him is I'm neutral. I don't have a strong opinion. I think he has the potential. I mean, he should be the wide receiver 1 on that team. I mean, T.Y. Hilton. I mean, how he's isn't he in his mid-30s? Like
he's like 45. I can't that with Morgan Freeman. They do stunts together on like big wheels and stuff.
I think he can legally run for president. I think you have to be 35 in this country. Yeah. I think he can legally run for president.
I think his dreads can legally run for president. So
that's what I'm saying. I think I for me it's more just I don't have a strong opinion because I haven't really seen anything that's he's big and he's good. Right, yeah. but that's why I'm not like I'm neutral.
You're neutral. You're Johnny Neutral.
I'm Johnny Neutral over here.
Johnny Neutral. This has been a very Italian centric episode. I think the brothers Cuomo will be into it. They would like it. You know what I mean? So give
you a little kitzaroo.
Yeah, I mean, listen, just whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm Italian. Come on, Come on. So honestly, I am Italian. I'm the most Italian out of anything I am. So that's why I get my olive skin. You can't see it because I'm freezing up. I got this tan body. It's beautiful here. At least from the arms and the face. The rest of it's white as a sheet. Looks terrible. That's my Irish and English side, by the way. That's my, my man boobies. So that's definitely from the English side. Anyway, I digress. Speaking of somebody who, kind of has been a boob, Devin Singletary. What do you think about old Devin? I saw Pete Overzet hyping him as the sneaky little play in the 12th round of best ball. Get your Singletary. What do you think about that?
So, small micro penis this way. I'm thumbing up slightly.
Micro penis thumb up. Is that how you're edging? Did I lose you, Mike? Did I lose me? Well, I'm back, boys and girls. I don't know where my man Mike Kosh Collins went, but we're having some technical difficulties here, as you can see. Hopefully, Mike was able to jump back in as well. Apparently, he was struck by lightning at the same time I was struck by lightning. I got my computer back reset. I've not heard back from Mike yet. Hopefully, he jumps back in here. I'm going to text him, let him know that I'm still alive, ready to rock and roll. So I'm back in. I just texted him, give him the heads up on that. Hopefully he'll jump back in here too. So where we at? We're talking ADP on wide receiver, and I'm going to be grabbing. Oh, Mike's internet went down. Oh man, double bad news. My internet went down and Mike's internet went down at the same time. That is terrible, man. Shout out Maryland internet. Never happened before like this where both internets are down. So I guess right now it's just myself as the lone fantasy millionaire. Maybe Mike can jump in. Well, hopefully his internet resets and he gets back in here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just reset where we were. We were talking ADP for rounds 10 and 11. So we started at round 10. We talked a couple tight ends, a couple wide receivers, pulling up my browser history now so I can get my tabs back open, ready to go. And then that's going to give me access, hopefully, to all the content that I had pulled up ready to go before my recently closed. And then Michael's come back into. Okay, his internet's come back. Excellent. Let me get him back in the show. Here we go. 1 second. There we go. Hey,
Hey, Ben DiNucci.
hey, Danucci, we're back. You're
Hey,
in.
my internet went DiNucci on me, huh?
What the heck happened to you? My internet went Danucci at the same time. We've got double Danucci. You know,
Hey, what are you gonna do?
that was
Yeah.
some. That was
I
some.
think we're gonna have to splice this episode together
That
on
was
the
some
podcast, brother.
some bullshit with the
Yeah.
Danuccis there.
Yeah, we left on that big cliffhanger with Devin Singletary.
Yeah, that big Danucci, Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
I'm fading Devin Singletary this
Okay.
year. I'm not into him necessarily. I think that the players to have are the wide receivers. So instead, I'm going to be going after, maybe Gabriel Davis or somebody like that. So just because I think the consistency is not going to be there, they're not going to be rushing for touchdowns
Right.
that much. And Josh Allen in the red zone is the man. So I think we're back. I think we're my
No,
computer.
we're good. We're rolling. All right. So I'll say this too about Devin Singletary is again, he's a small micro penis in this direction. I have a little I'm
A mini chub.
yeah, it's a slight, it's a micro penis thumb up for me. I do think that Zach Moss. I think they're similar. Neither one is sexy. So I'm gonna draft him over Zach Moss at this point in the draft. So that's why I think, but I don't want to draft either one of those guys for all the reasons you just said. So
I'd rather draft Naeem Hines or somebody who we haven't talked about yet. So, but we'll see who comes up next. Corey Davis, we talked about him earlier. Where are you at on Corey Davis?
where am I at on Corey Davis? I am 2 thumbs up on Corey Davis.
Double
Yes.
thumb.
Yeah, I'm double thumbs. Yeah, we are very erect structures pointing towards the sky for Corey Davis.
Yeah.
He emerged last season as what he was drafted to be. He was a number 1 draft pick, and he established that he is a problem for defenders in the NFL, and he was on the same team with AJ Brown and routinely put up big numbers. And now he gets to be the guy with who we've already talked about, someone that looks like he's going to flourish at this position. And you're getting a wide receiver 1 here, midway through the 10th round that potentially could be a straight set it and forget it flex. So I'm high.
Yeah, he's this is the thing about wide receiver 2-3 that's kind of tricky. Like I picked Elijah Moore because he's so far down compared to Corey Davis, because you're just looking at that upside. If you're just talking straight wide receiver 1s that you love at their ADP, Corey Davis Danucci, you know what I mean? So
yeah, give him a Danucci.
Let's give him a little bit of a Danucci and let him move on, Anyway, I really do like that. I'm into that myself. So let's talk next back to tight end. Mr. Irv Smith Jr., who I talked about it with Lauren yesterday on my my show and or our show, the on the media on the Mayo Media Network, and our guy Mike Zimmer said when he was questioned by a reporter, which harrowing experience in and of itself, he said no, there's no expanded role for Irv Smith Jr. Nothing's been added to the playbook, not a zilch, zero. We never heard of the guy, which is funny, because you would think that the coach would know somebody on his team who caught like 2 or 3 touchdowns last year in a game, who he just has that kind of ability to separate. He's more athletic. He's in that build, less of a blocker, not in the Kyle Rudolph role, more of in the slot role. And so, but then he came out and did pretty well in the preseason, almost like Mike Zimmer's full of shit. So, what do you think? Are you fading Irv Smith? Are you favoring him? You believe Mike Zimmer? You think he's a windbag? What do you think?
I want to understand your position, bro. This is your guy. Like you've been hype on this dude.
I like him. I like him, particularly in an offense that is funneled into 3 wide receivers or 2 or 3 wide receivers each game. Maybe every game he's not going to be a or a tight end 1, but I think he's got more tight end 1 games in him this year than he had last year. And so, I mean, a lot more, honestly. I think he could be a tight end 1, maybe, let's say 40% of the time. And so I'm not drafting him as my tight end 1. He'll be, I mean, he's tight end 13. So I would get him with Gesicki, or I'd get him with someone else, maybe a Logan Thomas, and just kind of play with them and see where those matchups go. Whenever they play the Jets, you'd play him. So yeah, I'm big on Irv Smith. I like him a lot as your tight end 2 in that little kind of game of build a tight end. And
I know, but this is the 10th round, man. Like, this is like your potential tight end 1.
I'm going to be getting a better tight end 1 this year. I'm just going to tell you that this year. There's more tight end 1s to be had, and I believe I'm going to be on that tight end 1 train this year. So I'm just going to say
I'm going thumbs down, because I think the role, the caliber, the points that he's going to get you. I think I'd rather draft somebody else that is going to potentially be, someone that emerges as a weekly starter. And I just think you can probably get somebody of his ilk later.
How about this? How about you pick a tight end later in this draft that we talk about in the next couple picks that you would have over him, and we'll do a little $1,000 bet. How about that? You pick your guy, get your Danucci out there. We'll put our Danucci's out there.
Who do we have left after him?
We'll just see. We'll see.
Jonnu Smith?
Yeah, Jonnu Smith is after him. You going? Yeah, you going Jonnu?
Let's see who else is there.
We got a few guys we gotta get to. We got a couple receivers here. Out of these 3 guys, Marquise Brown, Hollywood himself, Darnell Mooney, Henry Ruggs Jr. Who do you like the best? You get into the little situation. You're drafting in this little area around the 9th, 10th round turn, and you got an opportunity to load up on wide receivers. You know what I mean? Who you got? Marquise Brown, only healthy Brown, only guy on the field right now, only receiver with a number. What do you think? Darnell Mooney, he's hot. And then Ruggs, your boy. So what do you got?
I know. Well, first of all, how far has Hollywood Brown slid compared to last year?
Rashad Bateman, even though he's hurt, he shot up the draft board, which kind of put Marquise on the back foot, honestly.
Yeah. I guess I'm probably going to rank these guys Ruggs, Mooney, Brown. That's how I would rank it. I'm still buying into Henry Ruggs taking a step forward.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I mean, the tools are there. He did get dinged up in week 1 last season, and that really set him back. Really, was from what I saw, I mean, Cash was all in on that dude last year. And I'll say this, he does lack some of the intangibles that these elite wide receivers like Calvin Ridley have, which is, it's basically coming out of breaks and getting defenders to go the way you want them to go so that you can create space. He doesn't seem to be highly skilled with that super necessary component at his position. So yeah, all 3 of these guys are kind of the same to me.
I like Darnell. I like Darnell Mooney. I'll tell you why.
I do too. I like him too.
Last year he had 98 targets or 96 targets, I think somewhere in that range. And so 98. If he can get 125 targets this year, and which he definitely could, because who else are you going to throw the ball to in that offense? There's not a lot of other weapons. Then
who else is Andy Dalton going to throw the ball to?
Well, I think it's going to be Justin Fields anyway. For one game. Yeah. Well, good point over there.
Hey, that was a joke, Danucci. That was a joke. Huh?
Hey, calm down. Kevin was talking about he's not impressed with Fields yet. I've been impressed with Fields. I have not been impressed with their O-line getting him lit the fuck up. the other day. It just I don't like that. I love his ability to scramble and get out there. He's got that 4.4 speed. Listen, 4.4 speed. I mean, it's not RG3 4.3 speed or 2.3 or whatever it is. But dude, that's just crazy fast. You're talking about a guy who's just quicker than most people on the D line and the O line and the linebackers, and then maybe some of the safeties too, and then maybe not the corners, and maybe the corners too though. So like. It's a different game when he's there. And honestly, I've said this from the beginning, and my guy Adam Rank is with me. I love this. You got to get the good guys on your side, right? And I was on a show with Adam Rank, shout out Adam. We were on a show here in DC, and my guy Doug does the big show here in DC. He's got some big guests, man. He had EB from the Junkies on. So Big Doug has both on, and if they were designing their offense, if they were smart, if Nagy knew what he was doing, he'd be not even playing our guy Andy Dalton. He'd be designing all of his offense around Justin Fields, and he would be rolling him out of the pocket, moving him away from pressure, getting him outside so he could kind of just disrupt the offensive flow or the defensive flow of kind of pressuring him, because their offensive line is going to get Andy Dalton killed. Aaron Donald could put him in a body bag in week 1. So we'll see what happens.
Andy Dalton had 3 and outs in the last preseason game. So, I mean, he's not going to be, it's Justin Field time, dude. I mean,
yeah. Let's just call it what it is. All right. It's tucked in there as a little, well, how's your father? How's your mother? Trevor Lawrence, first pick in the Jacksonville. Yeah, I can't give a Trevor a fair shake here. We know he's going to start. There's no question about it with like a Justin Field situation. It's not a Zach Wilson situation either. He can run. Not that Zach can't, but Trevor can get out and he's a big body guy. He's like a Josh Allen type frame, but he's accurate and he doesn't have to kind of improve on that necessarily.
What about Gunnar Minshew not taking a poop because he has no number 2 in him?
He's not well, you know what? They are. I didn't see the game tonight because I was prepping for the show. I don't know what happened. He could have shit the bed tonight. I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked at the stats.
I think he did it. I think he did okay. I think he was like 9 for 16. Nothing memorable. Looks like a rookie quarterback. Looks like someone that is gonna just keep every week getting better. I'm thumbs up for Trevor Lawrence. Like, if you haven't drafted
I like him as number 2 quarterback. I definitely like him as my number. Like if I got one and then T Lawrence, power move. Shout out Adam Rank again. We talked about during the Pan D that you need to have 2 QBs and probably 2 tight ends too. So normally you load up wide receiver, running back. I always do. I got a bunch of them, like 17,000 of them. But this year it's a little bit different. Make sure you have that strong QB 2, and Trevor Lawrence is the one for me and you. I'm just gonna say I like it.
I do too, man. I'm with you. I mean, I could see, if the fantasy gods favoring you, doing Trevor Lawrence and Matt Ryan. I mean, some sort of combo where
right. That's not bad.
The rest of your team is super strong, and you just sat and waited on a quarterback, which in a 12-man draft
do that.
Yeah, it's recommended.
Yeah. So. Well, shout out JJ Zacharyson, who actually, a little known fact, unless you read the Wide Receiver 2 Theory first edition or second, he not only was the inspiration behind it in a way, it was a frustration behind it. I asked him a mailbag question about the study of the efficiency of the second wide receiver in an offense compared to the drafting patterns of the habitual fantasy footballer like yourself, myself. And that's where the whole thing, he said, I have no answer for this. This is something no one's done. No one said. So I said, ha, ha, ha. So shout out JJ, by the way, and that late round quarterback theory, which really just transformed the game. I don't think there's any strategy that has changed the game more in home leagues than that one, and I'm proud to call JJ a friend, love him. And Mike, we might be pulling off. I'm not going to. JJ lives on a golf course, and Denny and I have been talking, and we would love to maybe go visit him.
That would be awesome.
Foursome, and I could love to have you come. We'll figure it out. JJ is the man. Love him. He sent London like a little bobblehead of Ovechkin after the Caps or after the Penguins were eliminated last year in the playoffs.